Hello and welcome to today's video. I'd like to thank Solbio for actually supporting this channel. And Solbio is a completely natural toilet fluid. It can be also used in the waste tank. It's environmentally friendly as it's made from completely natural ingredients. So if you'd like to know more about this product, there'll be more at the end of the current video, and there will be links below. Thank you. Hello and welcome from Camp for You campsite near Wrocław, Poland. Now we have a Remo dealership, and not just Remo, at least that's the plans. Here we have the Remo Evo 77 Plus motorhome, 6-person, well, sleeping for 6 anyway, in this vehicle. And the cost, well, that's in Polish currency, 298,000 zloty, so it's about 58,000 euros. And it includes these packets, which I suppose I ought to really sort of explain, but I'll do that a bit later. And here actually it says for 5 people sleeping, so I think it's probably fairer than saying 6 as I just did. 141 litre fridge. It weighs, haven't got the weight here, but off the top of my head I think it's 3,100. I might be wrong on that though, so don't quote me on it. Now coming into the van, first thing I'm going to show you actually is this. That is there's the keys for it. Notice one thing, you've got one key fits all. And so what does that mean? Somebody did my van when I had no, it wasn't a van, it was a car in fact, Mercedes. I couldn't get the car started, and he said, yeah, there's a problem with this having the same key for the ignition as for the doors. Well, he was a key person, so he said it wasn't such a good idea. Now, right, so we'll start off down here, and immediately your eye is drawn to what is all that in the front compartment. And this is the reason why I think making extra beds is not a good idea. But anyway, we'll get on to that one. I hope the camera hasn't all steamed up. It's freezing outside. So okay, 2 belted positions there. There's another belt. So that gives you 5, because there's 2 up front as well. Got the kitchen there. Got this rear lounge at the very back. And the rear lounge comes with this enormous table. And you've got the bed above it. So, what can we do with this? Well, we can open, I'll show you how to size the table. Despite the cold. Oh, yo, yo. So, see how big that is. Obviously, the thing moves backwards and forwards as well. It doesn't have to stand on that. And yeah, right, and I'll show you that as I sort of move around and maybe get a bit warmed up. But the lounge itself really is quite, I mean, it's very large, quite good looking, and I think that itself is, for those who want a real lounge, that's quite positive. Why not make a bed at the back? Well, you can see here that the table leg is not one of these ones that goes up and down. The ones that go up and down are quite expensive. But for those of you who are into table legs that go up and down, we've got this one here, because this is where the other bed will be made, with this stuff which is now currently on the driver's and passenger's seat. So let's just have a quick look at how this hat works. So we put our foot on that, there we go. Oh, and now this here goes down. Can you see how it's gone down? And then it'll come back up again as well. Oh, it's clicked into position there. So, and this is also, this table is in this position, and this position here actually, if you're moving, then you've got plenty of space down there for your legs. But if you wanted to, you could make it bigger, but that would sort of lessen your room down here when you moved this one forward. It's just occurred to me, I just thought of this now, when you were moving, you could have it up like that, really, couldn't you? You could still have your computer on, and anyway, well, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Just occurred to me as I was speaking. And right, so we've got 2 beds in the roof. So now let's have a look at these beds and how they come down. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to stand under here actually, just to show you the demonstration. Turn the camera around. So there's me. So there we go. You see, so I can. So the clearance now, okay, it's not a huge amount of clearance, but it'll be about what, 100, actually much higher than me. So if you're about 177 centimeters, I would say you're going to have to start ducking a bit. You might have to duck more though, and I'm going to tell you why now. Because that stuff, which I just showed you, makes the bed, is designed to go up here. So every time you come to the back, you would want to do something with it, and that's one reason why possibly you don't want to carry that stuff with you. Just a thought. Right, so it doesn't require a key, as you can see. We've got the lights under here. Sorry, the lights for the top. And let's press this down. Right, so that's come down to its final position. As you can see, won't go any further than that, and that gives you all the room below. Now, you wouldn't be, well, I suppose you could try this. Yeah, I'll give it a try. I'm sitting beneath it. Oh no, that's not very comfortable. That's not, yeah, I'll turn it around. There you go, so I'm sort of really crouched up now. That is not very comfortable. I keep sitting down here. Some vans you can actually sit with the bed down, but this isn't one of them. Let's put it back around again. And up here, what have we got? Well, we've got the ladders there to allow you to get in. We've got this, there you go. That could hold up like that or whatever. If you want this in, quick release there and there. So, and this thing here actually will also. This is done for neatness, and a lot of them, if not all, just about all of these beds have this sort of thing here in as well. Yeah, you just release it and these things go to one side. Somebody asked me to show the thickness of the mattress. See if I can do that. I can't really, but anyway, all right. That's the. There we go. There's the mattress. There we go. There's the mattress is something like that. So don't know if that means anything to anybody. I don't know about mattresses. I like the mattress to be really hard. One little feature here, this would sort of appeal to me. I like a bit of light coming in, particularly in the early morning. So we've got we can just see a little bit out the back down there. So with this like this, let's come to the other one now. Couple of points here is that this here, you see, got this is a headrest. And this is quite comfortable. Now I'm going to give you a demonstration of this as well with me in it. Let's just, and there we go. So, so you can see I've got a nice rest here. I've got a rest here, and also as I turn the thing back, there we go. And now let's turn it back around again. Nice place for my feet, but I'm not going to put my feet up now because I got my shoes on. So, this thing here can be released quite easily. Let's release that. But this will also slide behind that. So, what we're going to do now, we can lower this and do that now. So that's the maximum. The bed, I believe, is 120 centimeters. I believe. And there's some seat covers. And that's the seat covers from Remo rather than using the Ford ones. So you get the bed down there. What about down here then? You can't sit down here really, so it's something similar. I'll just turn the thing down yet again. So there's me, but I'm crouched really. It's not very comfortable. Turn it back. And the bed down here can also be made. Now, whilst I've got this in this position, I'll show you a nice little feature down there. USB here. This bit here opens. This is part of the bed. Yeah, so it's making the bed down here. And in here, there's the toilet and the shower. The ductboard in, and quite a nice size, I would say. In fact, I'll come into the shower. You can see me in here. Look, you've got this space here. Obviously the door would close, but I'll leave it open. And yeah, so I quite like this, the wet room. I think that's got quite a lot going for it. I like this. And good. Let's have a look at the kitchen now as well. Mind you, I've got to say this. I mean, with 6 people in here, it's going to be or 5 people in here. It's going to be a big squash. There you go. See, only five belted positions, so 5 people. 3 burners. That's standard. That's standard. You've got a bit of preparation space here. You've got these drawers with a central locking device. And you've got a stack of storage down there. And you've got your gas there. And I didn't show this one. And a little feature is I like the way that drops down. I think that's quite good. Let's see if this is working. Yeah, that's working. Here's the fridge, 141 litres, freezer compartment, and your drinks are down there. And have a look at the storage here as well. A feature that this is an extra because one of the packets, the winter packet so to speak, it's got a heated wastewater tank. So if you run out of soup or something like that, you can drink the water in the heated wastewater tank, and it's got underfloor heating as well. Nice little feature. I find that quite pleasant. It takes a fair whack of time though to actually kick in. And here you've got your Truma, your heating in your water. There you go, heating, water, fan speed, and all the rest of it. Yeah. Off. So that's what it looks like in action. Oh, another. I do like the way this goes as well. Yeah, sort of hang up your coats, and yeah, that is I think a rather attractive looking feature as well as a useful one. And of course, you would need a wardrobe potentially. Why don't we keep the bed things in here as they do at the trade fairs? Well, there's a good reason. It doesn't fit. Now, so I mentioned several times about where you store that stuff. It's currently on the driving seat, so it would go under here effectively. I mean, don't think I'd want to put it up there, so it's going to have to be moved every single time. Let's just move this one up here a bit, just a bit. So it goes up something like that, and as you can see, there's not a lot of room there. Right, now let's have a sit around here. One of the highlights, I think, of this type of vehicle is, of course, that you can actually sit around the table. That I find particularly attractive. And, you know, you can sit around the table and look out the window. And, okay, it's a nice sunny day today, although freezing cold. But that's something I really do like. And, I mean, this is quite comfortable as well. So I'm sitting up now with my feet up. Now, supposing, though, you want to sit at the back down here. I'll turn the camera around. If you want to sit here, for example, yeah, there's not a lot of room, to be quite honest. Let's move the table a bit. So if I come down here like this, oh, look at this. Well, I can just about, of course I probably wouldn't be sitting with my coat on, but yeah, there's not a lot of space. So really, you're gonna be, that's as far as it'll go. So, but hey, the table size is great. You know, you're sort of a messy person like I am, and you know, I was doing work on my computer or something. This, you know, this huge table, I think that's absolutely fantastic. And there's just about enough space to get through here. Let's just demonstrate. Oh, there you go, just walk through. And let's see it from this angle as well. So if you want a big table, this is the thing to go for. And of course it will move around depending on your requirements. So, but, well, there's not a lot of room, I know, but the thing is, it's only 235 centimeters wide on the outside, so what can you expect? I do appreciate, maybe there's a reason why this can't be turned into a bed. This makes far more sense to be turned into a bed. There may be a very good technical reason of which I am unaware of, but that would be much better as a bed than up front. So now let's put this back. And you see this thing here's got these slidey things. So this will just slide on like this. That was easy. Even with my hands in this state. This is what I think the bed could be made into. I say I think this was the most logical I could do it. So you've got a bed, I suppose, for one person coming across. I say I think because the most logical thing about this whole thing is this here, because I'll show you what it's got here. It's all right, so you see that goes onto something. There you are, you sleep on that bit. Why would you do this? Well, there's a couple of ideas here. This is in other vehicles such as the alcove, the cab over versions. This comes out like that, and it's clear that the bed goes on it. So it could be that they just do this in every single van, if it's used or not, because they have the parts and then they do it. So it's a comparatively cheap motorhome. I know 58,000 euros is a stack of cash. Yes, I know. It's comparative. So that could be part of the reason. Alternatively, it could be I don't know. It could be that goes there. It just seems to me to be totally illogical why you'd want that there. But there is something else though that I need to point out. Is if that's in there like that, then this door here, or maybe even this comes out a bit further, then with that on top, then you've got access to the door. It's not blocking the door as it would be if all this were taken up, as sometimes some manufacturers do things like that. The from Thorn, for example, Slovenian companies is one that springs to mind, which actually blocks the door off, although it's very clever what they've actually done with theirs. Okay, next question is, what's it look like with this down? Let's try and put this down right now. I'm sure I did. I forgot to take this off. Now I can't get it off at all. Let's put the thing up again. So that's your sleeping. You've got bunk there, one below, two above. That does make 5. If this were extended, I suppose I could even say it were a double bed, which clearly it doesn't extend. And there's the ladder. I think I pointed all that out before. So that's the bed below in action. So put this back up again. and just show you some underneath here. This comes up. I really need two hands to do this, but oh, there you go. So you've got the table down like that. Now, one feature, as I showed you this earlier, I think I'd leave that there permanently. No, because that way, this here, we've got a board, which is under there, which was in the wardrobe earlier. But I think, you know what, I like having the L shape down like that, and so I'm going to leave that there. The table, we can sort of turn it around a little bit. So you see down there, that's how that is. And what we'll do is I'll put the table up again, so it's going over there. Right, I'll have to come back in a moment once I've cleared everything else up. So it takes what, a minute, if that, to put the bed back, and I've left this in a different way, so I think that seat there looks quite good in that position, so you can go around there, sit around the table there if you wanted to. Once more, this table is absolutely enormous. You can't actually, if you put the seat, turn the seats around, and this will give a huge amount of space around this table as well. So you've got two enormous tables. This is a motorhome with tables. But anyway, having said all that, let's now have a look at the problem we have carrying this extra bed. This is the only logical place to carry it. It won't go in the bed. There's nowhere else for it. It can only go under here. Now let's just press the button and find out what happens. That's it, you see. So now when I walk in, see what difference it makes? Can't really sit around here with that up there. Now the question you've got to ask yourself is it worth having that extra bed for this type of problem? Well, maybe it is if you're going somewhere and there's going to be 5 of you in there, but it's going to be bothering you all the time. And so remember my advice always, get a camp bed, get up on these blown up things, right? You wouldn't have that harassment. So that's what I very strongly think, if you're going to be using that many people in the vehicle. Oh, it's cold here. Ooh, March as well. Oh, it just seems to get colder and colder. Let's have a look on the outside now. Oh, another feature I want to point out is that you've got these, obviously this is your panel here. So I press that like that so the lights go out. But you know, if you press this thing here when you come in, and that, as you can see, has turned the 12 volt on. And if you don't want to touch the panel, you touch this thing here. So that's an interesting little feature from Remo. I don't know anyone else is doing that. Maybe Ahorn's doing it. Well, Ahorn Remo sort of made in the same factory anyway, so doesn't really count. Let's have a look outside. Window in the door. Now, thing is, the garage isn't particularly large. So you can see here that the garage isn't very big at all, and unfortunately we can't keep the extra bed parts in here. Garage isn't large. There isn't enough room for that other stuff which is in there to make the bed up. There you go, see the garage on this side as well. There's the exhaust from the boiler, toilet cassette. So you put your water in. fresh water, storage. So I hope you found that video interesting, and we can have a look at some of these other vehicles in other films. Thanks for watching. This is the first time ever that I have accepted any support for promoting a product on YouTube. Now, I've been on YouTube now for 15 years, and I've been doing the van life stuff for a number of years as well. The reason I haven't accepted support in the past is because I felt it had to be something which I really agreed with, and a product I knew. So I had to feel 100% about recommending it to others. This is Solbio, and this is a toilet additive. Now, what's the point of a toilet additive? Well, when you use the toilet, then it goes into a cassette, and you have to dump the cassette somewhere. Now, if you just urinate into it, then there should be no problem. But if you put any solids into it, then it makes it a bit more difficult. Now, one thing you can do is if you have constant diarrhea, then you may not need a toilet additive, because you should be able to dump it without any problems. For those of you who don't suffer from this problem, then one thing you might want to consider doing, in fact, one thing you're going to have to consider doing, is using a toilet additive. Now, there's two types. There's the blue stuff, which is manufactured by a number of companies, and it works pretty well. No problems there whatsoever with the way it works. Oh, there's the green stuff, which is ecologically based. Now, up until now, the green stuff didn't work as well as the blue stuff. But I think with Solbio, we're now seeing a comparative working rate. It works just as well. So it's ecological. What it's got inside are natural soaps, it's got natural citric acid, it's got essential oils and plant extracts, and that breaks down whatever it is that you're throwing into the toilet, or releasing into the toilet, I should say. And when you come to a dump station, you can just tip up your cassette and it all flows in nicely. Now, you may say, well, I have constant diarrhea, and so therefore I don't need something like that. Well, that may be the case, but one thing that this has got, it's got a rather pleasant fragrance to it as well. Now, I personally like the fragrance of the blue stuff, but I know I'm in a small minority on that one. One thing I noticed when I've been doing tests of really small vehicles, such as 5.5 meter ones above all, so as soon as you open the door, you have this fragrance, let's say, of the blue stuff sort of hits you. Now, with this one here, Solbio, it's got a more natural sort of smell. It's a bit like eucalyptus. I'm trying to find a good way of actually describing it, and the best thing I could think of, it's got these cough drops or these eucalyptus like sweets, and it's got this type of fragrance within the toilet anyway. And if you're in a small van, I bet it could fill up the small van. I haven't really noticed it sort of when I'm sitting here in this position, for example, but maybe I'm not using enough of it to actually notice. Next thing is it safe to use? Well, the thing with the blue stuff is there are good reasons to suggest that it may not be completely safe to use. I mean, it does break things down in a chemical manner. I mean, I'm not going to suggest it's dangerous or anything like that, but I don't think it is particularly good for the environment. If it comes into contact with plants or things of this nature, I mean, there's warnings that, I mean, if you get it in a fish tank or something like that, I don't know why you want to put it in a fish tank, but if you put it in the fish tank, then the fish will die. So this, as it comes from natural things, you assume that it's okay. Now the blue stuff as well, I've noticed I always get it on my hands. And not only that, I mean, obviously, I sort of miss the toilet as well. Sorry, I get it into the toilet bowl. I don't miss the toilet. I miss the sort of the hole where you open up for the toilet. And it sort of stains, and it takes a few flushes for it to actually go down. I don't know if that's bad or not, but it's with this stuff, it's almost translucent. Not quite, but almost. As is when you dump it out, which seems a bit odd the first time. You think, hang on just a minute, I'm sure I didn't just urinate in there. But that's the way it is. The manufacturers say it doesn't cause skin irritation. I have never experienced skin irritation from the blue stuff, but I have heard of people having this problem. And let's have another look at it, because here it comes in two. One's for marine use and the other's for motorhome use. Now it could be that mariners use the toilet, or they eat something a bit more dodgy, or I don't know, but it's different. This contains 40 doses, and it's dosed via this thing down here, this little tap. Now I know there are people who are suspect of these taps. Now I previously worked in the packaging industry, and indeed I used to give talks being an expert. I don't think I was much of an expert, but I do know a little bit about it. This technology is perfectly safe, I think, to use. It's not, I mean, it's often used in bag-in-the-box applications, and so you get wine or something. The wine's in a box, and it got this tap that sticks out, and you use it. In the company I used to work, where we produced blueberry juice, we used this technology, and I've never known the taps to go wrong in my direct experience. But when they first came out, I agree there was problems with them. I've heard of people saying they put something in the fridge, or they in the van, and something hit here. In theory, you're supposed to knock both ends down at this. Oh, sorry, pull them both up and press down at the same time to get it to work. So I mean, I do accept that these things can go wrong. Just as, I mean, if you don't close a bottle properly, everything will go out. But I make that part. Other than that, the bag may seem a little unsturdy because of the way it is. But I can tell it's made from recycled. It's green plastic. It's and I think it's quite safe. So there's some observations on this, and as far as I'm concerned, I really do think it is a good solution for you. Now, it costs roughly the same as the blue stuff. There isn't much difference. Now, I do appreciate that if there was a price difference, that might be a problem. Although, I think if you're into motorhomes, then you'd probably like living in harmony with nature, which is what I'm in it for, really. I think it's the call of nature, this contact with nature and all the rest of it. So I think that protecting nature is something that I would want to do. Whether or not I'm prepared to pay a premium, yes, maybe I'm prepared to pay a little bit of a premium for it, but in all honesty, between this one and the blue stuff, there's hardly any difference. Right, so if you find that of interest, there will be a link below. It's not an affiliate link, it just tells you where to get the stuff from. I'm not on any affiliate programs at all, deliberately, so nobody can accuse me of trying to promote something to get the affiliate link. But I do absolutely believe in this product. So, thanks very much for watching. I am currently at a place called Alexa Camping, or Camping Alexa, in northern Poland, and you may have heard some of the noises on the outside from the campsite, but I shall tell you more about that in another video. So, there you go. This is about Solbio. Thanks for watching.